What's up, everybody? This is Bree from Young, Saved, and Free, and I'm back with this week's devotional. For everybody that's new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Brianna, but you can call me Bree, and I'm the founder and creator of Young, Saved, and Free. For everybody else that's been here, welcome back to my channel, and I hope everybody is subscribed to my channel. So if you're not, hold on, put me on pause. Go ahead and go down and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell so you never miss another video from me. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram. I know I'm super late getting this video out. It's been a lot going on. When I say a lot going on, I mean a lot going on. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to my Instagram and you'll see it at Young, Saved, and Free. And I have a couple videos kind of discussing it there. I have a lot of content, so, you know, it's a lot. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into the devotional. It's entitled Nothing Missing, Nothing Broken. Now, when I wrote this devotional out and I decided to name it Nothing Missing, Nothing Broken, it came from a couple different places. One, from the story that the devotional is from. And two, in our financial faith confession at my home church, Cathedral of Praise Church of God in Christ in Augusta, Georgia. That is part of our financial faith confession. That's the end. It says nothing missing, nothing broken. And it was just, you know, that's just what I was feeling. I miss home a lot. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I miss my home church. I miss being at COP a lot. Like, I cry a lot because I miss them. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this devotional. So the first scripture is going to be coming from Numbers 23, verses 19 through 24. And as usual, I will always link the scriptures down below in the description box. So, I guess I'll go ahead and read the first scripture. And it says, God is not a man, so he does not lie. He's not human, so he does not change his mind. He has never spoken and failed to act. Has he ever promised and not carried it through? Listen, I receive a command to bless. God has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. No misfortune is in his plan for Jacob. No trouble is in store for Israel. For the Lord their God is with them. He has been proclaimed their king. God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has any power against Israel. For now it will be said of Jacob, what wonders God has done for Israel. These people will rise up like a lioness, like a majestic lion rousing itself. They refuse to eat until they have feasted on prey, drinking the blood of the slaughter. So, now y'all know if I'm looking down, it's because looking at my phone, I got the devotional in my phone just in case I forget anything, you know, just for some extra security. But the one thing that I have been absolutely loving about quarantine and being home, besides the fact that I don't have to get up at 5:45 in the morning to get ready for work, I can get up at 7:15, and I don't have to think about what I have to wear. I can throw on some leggings. I don't have to do my makeup. I did it today for y'all because, you know, felt cute, whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? I have a lot of extra time, sort of. Not really. But I have a lot of time to do other things since I'm at home. So, like, a lot of times I'm at home, I'm sitting at the computer waiting for, you know, my next client to come in. But then I'm still working on content for you all while I'm waiting on that, or I'm doing things for my business while I'm waiting on that. But one of the other things that has given me the opportunity to is really get down in my word. So every morning I listen to a sermon. I listen to some gospel music. Here lately it's been Kid Rashid's new album, which I absolutely love. I am a fan. Okay. But another thing, it gives me a chance to look in the Bible and find stuff that I didn't necessarily know. And of course, I don't know the whole Bible. 66 books. Who knows the whole Bible word for word? I don't know every story in the Bible. And because, you know, and I'm just going to be honest, because I haven't been raised in a household where we focused on the Bible so much, if that makes sense. Like, we went to church, yeah, but that was just where it went. Like, me and my sister knew the 23rd Psalm. That was it. Like, it was not like where I am now, where I live with my aunt. And we're always talking about Bible study. We're always doing this. We're always doing that. Like, it was just, we went to church, and that was it. And if you're wondering what's on my hand, it's eyebrow gel. Y'all forgive me. I told y'all I did my makeup for y'all. But, yeah, so to go from one extreme to the other, there's a lot of gray areas for me, and so there's a lot of things I just don't know. Like growing up, I knew very, very few biblical stories. I knew the go-tos: Daniel and the lion's den, David and Goliath, Noah's Ark, Jonah and the whale, big fish, whatever you want to call it, the 3 Hebrew boys, what is it called? What is the birth of Jesus story called? The nativity story. There it goes. I just, Adam and Eve, that kind of thing. I didn't know a lot outside of that. There was just a lot of things I did not know. So being in the pandemic and being quarantined has given me a lot of time to discover a lot of different stories. So this particular story, I'd never heard of. Balaam, however you say it, and Balak, whatever his name is. We're going to call him Balaam and Balak today, because I don't know how to say their names, because, I don't know. But, and I'm just going to be honest, I've never read the story before in my life. So I was reading it, and even though the verse that I just read was from Numbers 23, you really have to go back to Numbers 22 to understand what's going on. So I started at verse 4 through 8, and again, all the verses will be linked down below in the description box. And so here in verses 4 through 8, we have the king of Moab. He's sending out the elders of Midian and some other people to go get Balaam, because he wants to curse the Israelites, or the Hebrews, whatever you want to call it, those who were just delivered from Egypt. I was about to say delivered from Exodus. Jesus help. And so, it's when I read it, even just those 4 scriptures, verses 4 through 8, I said, this is a mess. Hold on, we're going to break this thing all the way down, okay? So, because there's so many things about this story, there's so many ways you can go with this thing, so this might be a kind of long video, but y'all just bear with me, because I promise you're going to get something out of it. So, Balak is trying to get Balaam to curse the Israelites, but the thing is, they ain't did nothing to him. Like, and I was just like, so you want to curse them because something happened to somebody else that you know that got involved with them? So you want to curse them because of that? They ain't did nothing to you. They probably don't even know who you are, to be honest. They've been in Egypt for how long? I'm pretty sure they don't know who you are. Like, they ain't even got to the promised land yet. They ain't even got to what they're supposed to, to the land of milk and honey. They ain't even got Jericho yet. They ain't got nothing yet. They literally have just left Egypt. So, like, why are you so threatened? For what? Like, what's T says? I don't understand. Like, why you so threatened by them? And so the thing is that a lot of people, they're in the same situation. There's people out there that literally hate them for what could potentially happen for them. It hasn't happened yet, but it's on the way. And they know that it's on the way. So they're like, I can't stand them. I want to curse them. I want them to die. I want all this bad stuff to happen to them, because this is about to happen to them, and I don't want them to have it. They don't deserve it. They don't like that. And I've literally there's been a few people that have said this to me in the last couple of weeks. They were just like, why do they want my life? Like, they're so jealous of me, but why? Like, I don't have nothing. I ain't got nothing. I ain't never did this. I ain't never did that. It's just because it's you. Because you have that chance and they don't. And it's not their fault. It's not your fault that they, that they're behaving the way they are. There's just them. And so the other thing is that a lot of this I felt with prophets. I was like, ooh. So, first of all, prophets are the mouthpiece of God, right? Balak is looking for Balaam because he knows that Balaam, whatever Balaam says, comes to pass. But Balaam is only saying what God tells him to say. So, of course, it's going to come to pass. Because God's not a man that he should lie. Like this, we just read that. He's not going to lie. So, if he says it, it's going to happen. But I think a lot of people get a misunderstanding about prophets and think that because you're a prophet, whatever you say goes. Not necessarily. If you're saying what God told you to say, then absolutely, yes, it's going to happen. But if you're just talking and pulling stuff out your butt, no, it don't work like that. It does not work like that. God doesn't have to obey what you say. You're supposed to obey God. As a prophet, you are his servant, right? So God does nothing without first revealing it to his prophets. And the key thing here, even when it comes to prophecy and even prophesying to other people, is that you have to be obedient to God and hear what he's saying. So God, if God never does anything without first telling the prophets, then why are you expecting Balaam, to do something that God has not instructed him to do? And so, Balak has been watching and watching and watching. And he has it the whole game twisted, like for real. He has the whole thing twisted. And a lot of times I think that people think that because a lot of things come to pass as a prophet, they think that everything they say goes. And I feel like I'm talking in circles. But the key, again, is making sure that you heard God. Because sometimes things seem like a good idea, but then they're not a God idea. So it takes that being able to have that discernment and know, yes, this is God, or no, this is not. This is all my flesh. And so if Balaam was carnal, he would go with what Balak was doing for him. Balak sent all these influential people. First of all, they're from Midian. Like, we just gonna take a pause right there. The elders were from Midian. If you don't know the story of Moses and the Israelites being delivered from Egypt, Moses was in Midian when God spoke to him. If the Hebrews are God's people and God spoke to Moses in Midian, why would he curse them in the same place? That don't make no sense. Like that, no. Like, you ain't even, I don't know if this was common knowledge at the time that Moses was in Midian when God said, this is holy ground. I am that I am. Like, sir, like, what is really going on here? Like, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. But so we go forth with the story, and we're in verses 14 through 19. And so now, because Balaam has this, like, he just said, I'm not going with y'all. God said, no, I ain't going. He sent even more people. And I'm like, so you trying to bully him, or are you trying to, like, bait him? What are you, I'm kind of lost here. What are you doing to him? Like, why do you think that you sending all these people is going to make him go with them? Like, nah, I don't care. You can send the whole city. Nah, I ain't going. No, I don't want to. God said, no, I ain't going. But this is, again, a moment where you have to know whether or not you heard God. God told him no. Then Balak sent some more people, and it's like to make it even seem like, okay, so if I send all these influential people, he's gonna want to be seen with them. He's gonna want to be, in their circle. But if it's not a God idea, I don't want it. I don't want it. Y'all can have it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And it's just like my mama said, all money ain't good money. So, like, Balak is offering to pay him. And this is the thing with a lot of people, they have the whole thing twisted. Just because somebody's paying do not mean that you have to take it. All money is not good money. And I think another thing that people have a misunderstanding about is itinerary preachers and anybody that gets paid to use their spiritual gifts. Yet, like, just because you want to pay me does not mean I'm taking the assignment. And I think a lot of times, especially with some people, they think that if they sow into prophets, that they become their own personal psychic or something. That's not how this works. But the reason why a lot of people have to be paid to come in and do stuff is because they're putting themselves at risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're putting themselves at risk. They don't know what they're going into at that moment. When you book them, I'm pretty sure they don't know what they're walking into. They don't know what kind of spirits are out there. They don't know none of that stuff. And besides that, all the preparation it takes to have a right now word for that house, it's a lot of work. You gonna pay me for my time. Like, it might not seem like that much to you, but you gonna pay me for my time. That's it. That's one thing about it. Two things for you are most definitely gonna pay me for my time, and you gonna pay me for the risk, because you don't know what spirits people have on them, and spirits transfer. And if I gotta go in there and work and deliver all these people and lay hands and do all this stuff, you gonna pay me, okay? Because it's a lot. It's a lot that you have to put yourself at risk for, not even before the service, but even after the service. Because once you've done what you're supposed to do, there's stuff waiting for you. There are attacks waiting for you as soon as you do it. Like, and I think it was the other day, I posted a video of John Gray and YPJ talking, and he was saying, you know, it's not that you need to pray before. Yeah, you need to pray before, but you need to really be praying afterwards, because it's hard. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of pastors out there, there's a lot of preachers out there. They can control the service. They can, you know, God can have his way in the service, but then they go home and they doing lines of coke. It happens because the spirits are hot afterwards. They're ready. They're waiting for you at the door, literally, like waiting for you at the door. And so what? And some people, you really have to check your heart when it's time to do these things. You have to check to make sure God wants you to do it, because you don't want to prostitute your gift at all. Like you just don't want to do that. I just don't. And I remember, if you guys don't know, I went to Tiffany Moore, that was on Sunday's Best. She went to my home church. Well, she goes to my home church, Cathedral of Praise. And she would always say that she's like, I don't want to prostitute my gift. I don't want to just think for just anybody just because I need to know. And so I completely agree with that. But that's why you have to consult God about everything, because you don't know. Yes, God is greater than anything. He's stronger than everything. But sometimes God allows things to happen. And it just got really dark in here, guys. I'm so sorry. The sun is moving like crazy. God is greater than anything. He's stronger than anything. But there's sometimes you have to reap what you sow, right? As a matter of fact, every time you sow something, you have to reap from that. And a lot of times we think that because God is greater than X, Y, and Z and the whole alphabet, everything, that because we put ourselves in situations that he's going to deliver us out. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers them out. But sometimes you put yourself in those afflictions. You are self-inflicting yourself. So sometimes you're self-inflicting, and so you're going to reap from that. And it's very important. And I believe was it Mark that said this? I think so. I listen to sermons every day, but I learned so much from doing that. But I think it was in My Steps Have Been Ordered. Yeah, it was in that one. Yes, it's important for God to be with us wherever we go, but we have to be able to listen to him and know that he is speaking to us and follow his instructions. Because if you don't, you're going to end up in some place you ain't had no business being in the first place. And so that's what happens. And so when Balaam finally agreed to go, because God told him, you know what, since they want you to go so bad, go and just say what I told you to say. Okay. Even on the way there, his donkey was like, nah, son, we ain't doing that. I ain't going there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to go. And because the angel of the Lord appeared before me, and it scared him. I mean, it would scare me too if I'm walking towards the mountain, and then all of a sudden this big thing just pops up, and I don't know what it is, and I'm scared for my life. But it was important that happened, because the angel had to make sure that Balaam knew to only say what God says. Because just because Balak is paying you and he's treating you like the Queen of Sheba or whatever, that does not mean you just make up stuff to tell him. That don't mean that at all. No. You need to make sure that you're doing what God told you to say. And so a lot of times people will dumb their gifts down or water themselves down to be in the likes of other people. But what the angel of the Lord was telling him, do not just go with what they're saying. Tell them what God said, nothing more, nothing less. Okay? Like, that's literally what they were doing. And so as the story goes on, Balaam is going before God time after time after time. Probably, I think it was a total of like 3 or 4 times. And every time it was just, God's going to bless the Israelites. I can't curse them because God blessed them. I can't do this. I can't speak death to them because God said this. I can't. And Balak was getting so mad. And I was like, you can't stop nothing God did. Okay? Like, y'all know who you thought you was, but you can't stop nothing that God did. If God said it, it's going to happen. And so he's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ask or think. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of man what God has prepared for his people, for those that love him. And so they can't see it. People can't see it. They don't understand. They don't get it. And it's like, they won't believe it because they're not in the relationship with God. They don't have that. in order to really, really understand what God is saying, you have to have that relationship with him. You have to understand. You have to know his voice. And if you didn't know his voice, it's because you don't have a relationship with him. And so we have to be able to have, by having that relationship, we build our faith. And faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of the things not seen. So, of course, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard, because that's what faith is. Faith is, we don't see it, but we're just going to keep going with it because he told me to. He told me to keep doing this, so I'm going to keep going with it. And so, even though you're in a storm right now, even though you don't really understand what's going on, you have to keep your faith. You have to keep doing what God said, because when you do that, that just solidifies your relationship with him. You're like, you know what, God? It's hard to trust you right now, but I do. Things are going a little crazy right now, but I still trust you. I still believe you. I still stand on your word, because you're the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. I still trust you with all my heart, and I'm not leaning to my own understanding. And I'm going to acknowledge you in all my ways. And because I do that, I know that you're going to direct my paths. I know that you're able to do this. I know that with you, all things are possible. So I'm going to stand with you, because with me and my own strength, oh no, I'm strong, but I ain't that strong. No, I need you. I need you more than you'll ever understand. More than you'll ever know. And I'm pretty sure you do know, because you're omnipotent, you're omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. I know that you know everything. You knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. I know that you know that. So I know that you know my heart, because you created me. And so we have to remember that God made us a promise. Even if we're in the storm, God made you a promise. And so 2 Peter 1:4 said, and because of his glory and his excellence, he has given us great and precious promises. These are the promises that enable you to share his divine nature and escape the world's corruption caused by human desires. Promises made, promises kept, point blank, period. Can't no devil stop nothing that he got going on. I'm sorry, y'all, I got hiccups all of a sudden. And so even when he makes those promises, he's still telling you, you know what, no matter what happens, I still made you a promise. Isaiah 43:2, when you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. You walk through the fire of oppression. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. And so even in a global pandemic like what we're in right now, where everybody's trying to figure out, how am I going to live? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? And you're just calm. It's because God gave you the peace. God gave you that peace, and the world didn't give it to you. The world can't take it away. There's people out here still maintaining their businesses from an online presence. By the way, shameless plug, if you are looking for someone to do your social media, to create your online presence so that you can maintain your sales and maintain your presence and your revenue, hit me up. Email me at affluentinfluencesmm@gmail.com, and we can talk about it. But anyway, like I was saying, there's people out here, they have not missed anything. Nothing missing, nothing broken. This pandemic didn't even touch their finances. They didn't touch their bodies. They didn't touch anything, because God made them a promise. If you are the righteousness of God, no good thing will he withhold from you. So even when it's going right now and you don't understand it, God said he is who he is. He's a provider. It doesn't say, I'm only going to provide for you when the world is doing absolutely everything it's supposed to. God said, I will provide. I will provide. That is him. That is his word. He said he'll provide. Okay, so he said that he's going to do it. But you got to trust him. So when you have that trust, ain't nothing going to go missing. Ain't nothing broken. Ain't none of that. So yes, that's all I have for y'all. And I feel like I got really loud, and I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. And I love you, and thanks for watching. Bye.